Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. You're listening to Inspire Me with Jay, where science meets spirit, and stories of meditation and the near-death experience awaken what's possible within us all. I'm Jay, and this is your moment to be inspired. Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. I'm your host, Jay Spillers. Please do like, subscribe, and share everywhere. Today we're going to be talking about Philippians 4:8. And let me set the tone here. We have so much darkness going on in the world, and we have so much revelation coming out, like the Epstein files. There's demonic spirits, there's dark entities, there's reptilian beings that are impacting us, and they're impacting us first and foremost at an emotional level. They feed off our negative emotions. But then they also wreak havoc physically in our world. They cause wars, they cause strife, they cause lust, they cause um, greed and hatred and fear and all these different things. And they are primarily the reason I believe that we don't have the world we really want. Because I've always thought about that for years. Well, why can't we have the world we really want? Why can't we have a world that's peaceful and that's loving and kind and that shares resources and that operates on a different wavelength than the one we're operating on? And I think it's primarily because there's these dark entities that impact the human race, that impact how we live on Earth. And it is true, of course, that we have our own negativity, our own sinfulness within us. But I think you'd be surprised at how much of an influence these dark entities have. Because the Bible talks about we've got three sources of sin that bring us down: the world, the flesh, and the devil. But how much of the dark entities are the ones that bring us down, even on the other two? We have free will, we have free choice, but how much of it is brought down because of these entities? That's a really good question, and I would probably wager to say 80% or more of why the world is such a mess is because of these dark entities. So the real question then is, well, what can we do? They're here, they're doing all kinds of havoc. They're doing the most despicable things, getting us to do the most despicable things imaginable. What can we do? And that's where changing your focus in your mind makes all the difference. Because once you change your focus from negative to positive, they can't feed off it. And that we start to go in a different direction. Their power is bound, if you will. It's interesting. The Bible talks about in Revelations, it talks about during the 1,000-year reign, Satan will be bound for 1,000 years. Well, in a sense, we can bind the demonic host simply by changing the focus. Yeah, there is a place for exorcism and Satan, I bind you in the name of Jesus kind of thing. But the best defense is a good offense. And when you change your focus, you can change the power that these entities have in your life and in the world around you. And I think this is probably one of the most important things for the spiritual awakening going on is just changing the focus, elevating us. Because when you change your focus, you start to vibrate spiritually at a higher level. And when you start to vibrate at a spiritual level, you start to lift the planet up. And that's one of the keys to changing things. And it's kind of interesting as I was thinking about, because I can be brought down. And the thing is that these demonic and reptilian beings can bring us down simply by us thinking about them in the world, thinking about the Epstein files, thinking about all the horrendous things they do to children. And then they feed off that too, you know, and then they control our elites. But the thing is that once you change your focus, you'll start to gravitate also in different ways and make different decisions. You'll become less of what they want you to be. You'll be less enticed by what they want you to do. And the thing is that once your focus is changed, it'll start to subtly change the decisions that you make. You'll start to gravitate towards things more in the light. And it's like whether it's the entertainment you watch, uh, the people you vote for, and the thing is it's not about Republican or Democrat here because both parties have a significant portion of people controlled by these entities. And it's like, okay, they might switch it up on a few issues and whatnot, you know, have some policy differences, but the cores are the same. They get us into wars, they get us into debt, they get us into materialism, they get us into greed, and they get our politicians taking policy that isn't very good for us, that isn't taking us towards the next level. And the thing is that even things that sound good can sometimes be a control mechanism. Like, let's talk about, universal health care. Okay, well, I believe that universal health care is a good thing. The problem is that how do they want to deliver it? They want to take total control over it. And when they control it, then they can basically dispense how healthcare is done for us. It strips us of our power. And then we're dependent on them. And then when, we don't do what they say, well, then we can cut the healthcare off. We can cut this off. We can cut that off. We can do all these things. See, that's the thing is that healthcare, education, public assistance, those things have a place, but they need to be done in a way that empowers the individual and the individual within his or her local community rather than empowering these bureaucratic centralized entities that then can use that as leverage over us. See, it's subtle things like this that you need to think about, and that's the thing is that liberal or conservative, you want to have policies that empower you and you within your local community rather than empower a bureaucratic entity that can then use that to control you. And see, it's subtle things like that that can make a difference. And the thing is that both parties do this, that we'll give you something or we'll do something for you, but we've got the leverage on you. And that's something to think about, you know. And, one party might push war a little harder than the other, or one might do this, but they both end up pushing it. So it's like, in that sense, neither one of them is really better than the other because the dark entities use them in different ways or manipulate them slightly to get what they want. But we need to maybe go in a different direction altogether. And as you start to change your focus, You take the power away and you start to move it in a different direction. And so I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking one way to not be brought down from these entities is to focus on the positive things like love, beauty, and truth. And when you do that, then they can't feed off you. And there's a blueprint scripture that I really love. It's Philippians 4:8. And we read it at the beginning. It talks about, whatever is true, whatever is honest, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, whatever is virtuous, whatever is praiseworthy. Dwell on these things, think on these things, meditate on these things. And you can get different translations that obviously, slightly change up the words and whatnot, but that's the essence of it. And that's the thing, is that how do we focus on these things? How do we take this blueprint of Philippians 4:8 and put it into practice? Well, there's different ways you can change your focus. One way that I'm obviously always talking about is meditation. And meditation is probably the most powerful way to take these kind of qualities, this blueprint of qualities, and then meditate on them and transform yourself. And this is kind of interesting. There's a very well-known exorcist who's in the Catholic Church. He's a priest. I've seen him on Tucker Carlson and other broadcasts. He says people that meditate on a regular basis daily, it virtually never happens that he sees people that become possessed by these entities or oppressed. That when you meditate, these dark entities tend to kind of leave you alone because your mindset is in a completely different place. And so meditation is one of the most important things to transform yourself, transform your world, get us going in a different way of thinking and being. Meditation is key. And there's some other things too, like prayer. Pray these qualities to be within you. Pray these qualities to be in others. Pray that these qualities become more rooted in people around you and in your world. Another thing is to be grateful. Obviously the last one I quoted, praise or praiseworthy, is a specific one on gratitude. To be grateful for all these different things, the truth, purity, loveliness, which is beauty, to be grateful for those things in your life and the beautiful things in the world. So meditation, prayer, gratitude. What other kind of things can we do? Well, we can focus on what we put in our mind. Read the scriptures. Read and listen to positive accounts, near-death experiences, things that promote gratitude and positive spiritual values. So the fourth thing is focus on putting in your mind positivity from the scriptures, from near-death experiences, from books that move you in that direction, entertainment that focuses on you. See, that's another thing too, right there, is that a big portion of Hollywood is controlled by what we call the Illuminati, which is the satanic cabal, which interconnects all of these different things, like in Epstein files and politicians and yada, yada, yada. But choose entertainment that's of a positive quality, faith-based quality, family quality programming that promotes wholesomeness, that promotes the values of living by love and compassion and kindness. over programs that don't promote those things, the sex, the violence, profanity, all these different things. So find entertainment that promotes these values. And so when you start to do that, you start to change what's in your mind. You start to pray, you start to meditate, you start to practice gratitude. And the thing is you can wake up in the morning and say, what am I grateful for today? And write it down maybe, having a list of gratitude. And the thing is, if you have a gratitude list, you can take that into your prayer life. Pray about these things. Thank God for these things. Pray for more of these things. And then you can take it into your meditation world. Meditate on these things. Focus on these things. And then you can find entertainment and literature and things that specifically focus on those kind of things and read those. So it's like the whole universe here kind of supports one another. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do a meditation. So here's your chance to just go ahead and start the blueprint to transform yourself, transform your world. So let's start by getting comfortable, getting in a comfortable chair, lying down. Make your body as comfortable as you can. Try to be as still as you can. Give yourself time. Take in a few deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Hold. And exhale. Exhaling through your mouth. So you breathe in through your nose. Hold for about 8 seconds. Exhale through your mouth. Just do another deep breath. Breathe in deeply. And exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply. And exhale slowly. Take another deep breath. And exhale. Just take another deep breath. Breathe in. And exhale. Now start to focus on your body. Start at the top of your head. Imagine like a white light at the top of your head and starts to enter you. At the top of your head, notice any tension, any stress, and just see that white light just helping to relax the top of your forehead and top of your head, just relaxing. Now see that white light moving down to your face, to your jaw, to the back of your neck. Noticing any stress or tension in those areas, your jaw, your neck, parts of your face. Just allow that white light to relax those areas. feeling more calm. Now see the white light moving down to your lower neck, to your shoulder area. Noticing any stress or tension, allowing that white light to just relax your neck and shoulders. Shoulders, if you're sitting, might just droop a little bit as they become more relaxed. Let them drop. That feels comfortable. Feeling calm and at peace. I see the white light moving to your chest area and upper back. Noticing any stress or tension. See that white light just bringing peace and calm, relaxing those areas, allowing them to just become at ease. Now see the white light moving down to your stomach area and lower back. Noticing any stress or tension in those areas. Allowing that white light to bring peace, calm, relaxation in those areas. Move your attention down to your pelvic area now. See the white light moving down there? Noticing any stress or tension? Allowing the white light to bring peace and comfort. Now just see the white light moving to your upper legs, to your thighs, bringing peace and comfort. See the white light moving down to your knees. Noticing any stress or tension in your knees. Allowing that white light to just relax your knees, bring calmness, peace to your knees. Move your attention down to your lower legs, to your calves. See the white light moving down. Noticing any stress or tension in those areas. And allowing that white light to bring calmness, relaxation, and peace to those areas, to your calf muscles. And finally start to see the white light move into your feet, to your toes. Noticing any stress or tension. Allow that white light to just relax your feet, bring calmness and peace. Just notice your body feeling completely at peace now. The white light is totally enveloping it, immersing it in peace, calmness, and tranquility, feeling good in your body. Now just imagine yourself by a beautiful, tranquil lake. This is the giant lake. You can hear little mini waves crashing along the shore. You might hear some birds in the background. You might see a beautiful blue sky, patches of clouds. What else can you see? Is there sand or dirt along the shoreline? Might see a few boats way in the distance. Take a moment to focus on this tranquil lake. If you're just sitting along the shoreline close to the water, just enjoying this peaceful day. You can feel the warmth of the sun hitting your skin. Might be a slight breeze in the air. You feel great. I'm going to read something to you. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Truth. You want to focus on truth. What is true in your life? What is true in this world? How can I focus on truth? I am thinking in truth and not reacting to assumptions. The truth is within me. The truth is all around me. The truth is in Scripture. The truth is in so many different books. Where do you find the truth? How can you apply the truth to your own life? Think about that for a minute. Honest, noble, worthy of respect. What are things that are noble to you? What things say honesty, integrity? What thoughts can I hold on to that are honest, noble, and true? What deeds? What can I say in my everyday conversation that's noble, honest, and true? How can I promote more integrity in my life? Take a moment to think of what you would consider nobility, not in a royal sense, but in the sense of living a noble life. What is noble and honest to you? What is just and right, fair and righteous? What is morally correct? What is justice to you? Am I being fair and upright and how I live my life and how I approach situations. Am I just? Am I fair? Dwell on that for just a moment. Pure. What does purity mean to me? Wholesomeness, clean motives, good intentions, mental clarity without corruption. The most pure thing is love. Love purifies the mind and the emotions. How can I live pure? Maybe ask yourself, is this thought clean, or is it mixed with something unhealthy? What does purity mean to you? How can you apply purity in your life, your thoughts, your actions? Lovely. Lovely is beauty, kindness, and warmth. The kind of thought that softens rather than hardens you. When you think of lovely, what do you think of? I first think of beauty. Beauty like a beautiful lake on a warm, sunny day. Beauty like on a person's face when they smile. Flowers growing. Fresh cookies baking in the oven is a beautiful thing. What does beauty mean to you? How can you bring a sense of beauty, peace, and appreciation in your life? Think of lovely or beauty for the next few seconds. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Good report, admirable, things that are worth speaking of, reputable, commendable. Do I speak of things that are admirable, of good report? Do I dwell on things that are of good report? Would I be okay if my thoughts were known to others? Focus on admirable things in your life, things that are of good report. How can I speak more admirably today? Virtue, the excellent, moral excellence at a high level. Not just good enough, but excellent. We want to be character driven. Am I being led towards higher character? How can I be led towards higher character? Toward virtue. What is virtuous to you? Take a moment to think about virtues you would like to instill in your life. Praise, praiseworthy. That which is worthy of gratitude and recognition. Am I grateful today? How can I be more grateful? How can I have an attitude of gratitude? Maybe start by thinking of some things that you can be thankful today. Just take a moment and think of 5 things you are grateful for in your life right now. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatsoever is pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. To dwell on Philippians 4:8 is more than just positive thinking, but is disciplined thinking. Commit yourself to pray, to meditate, to read, and to put positive, disciplined thinking into your life. When you entertain yourself with thoughts and emotions, when you watch things, you read things, ask yourself, does this measure the Philippians 4:8 test? Is it true? Is it honest? Is it just or pure? Is it lovely? Is it admirable? Does it have virtue? Or is it praiseworthy? Now we'll start to come back to the room. Let's take in one final deep breath, breathing in deeply through our nose. Hold. And exhale through your mouth. Now, if you like, you can sit and meditate for a few more minutes, relax. Or if you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day.